I'm about to rant the fuck out these Devon Hendryx albums. Before he shook the souls of virgins worldwide, jpegmafia used to go under the alias Devon Hendryx. Unfortunately, a lot of Devon's work has either yet to see the light of day, been deleted, or is just straight up hard to find on the internet. Trust me, I tried making this video twice and would discover a new project each time I finished the last. Regardless, being the cute, sexy, pretty motherfucker that I am, I've decided to rank all the Devon albums that I could muster my grubby little hands on. So if there's like 2 or 3 projects that I've missed, please have mercy, this shit is confusing. Plus his subreddit keeps on getting like nuked by yours truly, so any traces I've had back then are completely wiped. Don't shoot the messenger. But enough jerking around. Grab your baby oil, snag your partner, with consent of course, and get ready to dive balls deep into the world of Devon Hendryx. And of course, if there's anything you don't agree with, or if there's anything on your mind in general, feel free to take it out on me in the comments. Trust me, I can handle it. In last place, respectively, we have Joe Chill World.
You what?
Okay, whoa, let's just calm down. Hear me out. I won't lie, I just didn't get the hype with this one. Released way back in 2010, this 10-track album is supposedly the very first project Devon released that showcased his rapping capabilities. And while I'll admit his lyrics were pretty decent, everything about this project nearly put me the fuck to sleep. I mean, let me be real, it isn't a terrible body of work, and being that it's one of his first, completely mixed, mastered, and produced by him, it's impressive, yeah. This album just felt bare-boned. Bars are cringe, ideas were there, but the beats felt a bit bland and lifeless. The only tracks that really seemed to move anything in me were Sabbath School, The Neon Kitchens, and Game of the Century, the latter not even being on the official album. The vaporwave chilled out synth vibe was cool and all, and I really liked how quirky the beats came off. Tracks like Operation Stormfront, Trophy Kids, and Neon Kitchen are the couple that come to mind. They're hard-hitting, memorable, and somewhat entertaining to listen to, with that perfect dash of creativity sprinkled here and there, but they're just loops. Truly, there are some really cool concepts this album tries to conjure, but that's about it. I was just listening to loops on loops on loops. Nothing here left the mind to the imagination. Really don't have anything else to say about this album. It was just, feeling a 4 out of 10 with this one. Slightly below average, but some distance away from terrible. At number 6, we have Dreamcast Summer Songs, a project which succeeded my non-existent expectations. I came into this expecting to hear video game samples, but instead was met with soulful serenades. So first, there's a lot of speculation when it comes to the release date of this album. I've heard many claim Summer Songs came out in 05 or 07, but I'm just gonna go off of what Spotify lists and say 09. Dreamcast Summer Songs is technically the first debut album of Devon Hendryx. Surprisingly enough, there is no rapping to be heard on this mix whatsoever. Clocking in somewhere over 40 minutes, this project consists of 6 tracks, all of them being fully instrumentals, shit ton of reverb and pure vibes. This project sounds more like a grouping of ideas and concepts rather than an actual fully fleshed out product. There can be some iffy beats and then some really solid sounds. It's either hit or miss with this one. One moment I'm in euphoria, feeling the blissful pleasures of peak play in my ears, like goddesses drizzling milk and honey on my dick. And the next minute I feel as if my balls are getting dragged through glass and nails. A funny testament to his later work, but this really is what the album sounds like. You know, beats. Music you'd play in the background while you're doing something. I mean, like, yeah, there's this mysterious aura around it, and for the most part the songs blend really well into each other, yet this album feels like it's lacking a bit of substance and staying power. Again, this is his first ever project, so of course these claims are obvious, and I can 100% understand why someone would be in love with Summer Songs. It's pretty ahead of its time, especially for something that came out slightly before the whole vaporwave, trippy, lo-fi, instrumental type shit. Plus, the touch of soulful samples really gives it this magical texture I'd only find in a Kanye Soul Mix show. Not saying all instrumentals need lyrics to feel complete though. This is coming from someone who listens to video game music in his free time. Like, come on, Choo Choo Rocket has some great samples, but god, it feels like it just drags on, and I have no choice but to tune it out. And I don't care how good that Major Harris sample goes, everything else dragged on for longer than it needed to be. But yeah. Nothing crazy, just an album full of beats. Feeling a solid 5 out of 10 with this one. Fantasy Star though is really the only song on here that I love from start to finish. Great pick. Next up in 5th, we got Hard Emoji, a solid effort in both concept and execution. Imagine being stuck in a dream, having no choice but to drift through liminal spaces, distorted memories, and probably whatever the fuck sounds your brain pulls while knee deep in your conscious state. That's exactly what this EP sounds like. A never-ending dream that sinks you deeper and deeper into the abyss. Heart Emoji is empty, abstract, and incredibly lonely. Sounds shift in and out, panning from ear to ear. Like most of Devon's work, everything is drowned in reverb. However, the mixing of the bass, accompanied with the chopped reverse and loop samples, gives it this distorted, really mind-fucky texture. I ended up really liking the idea of this EP more than the actual songs itself. Well, most of the songs. Charlie Baltimore and Fucking Your Girl are incredible tracks, more so the latter. They're so good that it's kind of hard to imagine them all being concise on one project. They feel like they'd fit much better into later works of Devon's, contrary to the one I'm reviewing right now. That's another negative I'd have to admit. Some songs just didn't feel finished. Manny. I don't want to say this EP was rushed. It's an EP. Being that this was the second last project Devon put out, I'm willing to guess he was experimenting new sounds before finally releasing his last album the following year, but I couldn't really imagine myself listening to some shit like Pizzicato 5 without taking the entire album into account. So yeah, still better than Joe Chill World. Overall, I'm feeling an easy 5.1, 5.2 out of 10. I may have not resonated with most of the songs, but I really admire the dream-esque atmosphere he built, and the songs that were good on here really carried the feel of the entire album. Oh, Sitting with the Cross slapped hard as well. Okay, so we're at the halfway point. Let's discuss 4th place before diving into the transmission. The Rockwood Escape Plan. Yay. This is a much longer, creative, and more innovative Joe Chill World. I found that out of all Devon's projects, Rockwood had the most innovative use of his samples and atmosphere. Reverb was used on about every single track here, with the poor mixing coming off more as an artistic expression rather than a lack of skill and experience. Devon clearly had a much more concise idea of which direction he wanted to take this album in, and in return, quite a few songs off of here were very decent and enjoyable head nods. Case in point being King, God and Earrings, Missing Number, and of course the 27 Club. So yeah, that's about most of the positives. Let's get into the negatives. Much of the problems I have with Joe Chill World are present on here, except now the project is over fucking bloated. Although I must admit, it didn't hurt to listen to this one as far as over bloated albums go. Still, there were a lot of misses that caused me to stumble through on my first listen. Like, what the fuck was Project Birdie? It slapped, but like, did it really? Keisha, while creative, got bored real quick. Operation Kill Rap is hot fucking dookie water. Blue China was alright. Love the odd future type sound of Y2K. Sunday School is cheeks, but Deuce Comrades in Generation Y 1989 was peak, you get the picture. Not too impressed with it, but I did enjoy it more than both Dream and Joe, so that's gotta count for something. The Rockwood Escape Plan, while definitely not a 6, but like slightly higher than a 5, showed that Devon was an artist with extreme potential, and with time his skills were rapidly increasing. I'm thinking 5.5 out of 10, just slightly above average, but not above average. You get it? Intermission. Alright, it's time for the top 3. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what number 1 will be, but damn, let's discuss bronze and silver for a second. Generation Y. Not the Ghost Pop, but like the original Y fucking slaps. Like the fuck. Listening to this, I realized why Devon made me cringe so much. It's like listening to an early Childish Gambino, I'm guessing somewhere between the camp era or even earlier. Supposedly, this is Devon's 3rd album, I think. From what I've seen, it was one of his lost albums that supposedly got scrapped or deleted. Regardless, this shit right here, banger. I don't know what the fuck could have possessed him to delete this shit when it's clearly leagues apart from some of his other earlier projects. Almost every track on here slaps, and even my least favorite ones are decent. Apparently this album came around somewhere between 2011, like, I don't know. Apparently it's a mixtape that sports 8 songs, clocks in just over 30 minutes. While the quality and mixing of this project is pretty ass, the creativity and heart put into it succeeds all expectations. The first thing this album makes me realize is just how good of an ear Devon has for samples. samples. His choices really bring out his fun, carefree, and beautiful sound the album harbors. Over these heavy-hitting, pretty beats, Devon comes off as a very socially conscious rapper with heavy critiques of race, politics, and class in America. He's blunt, extremely in your face, and reminds me of someone who isn't afraid to speak their mind. Sure, we have a couple of cringy skits and moments here and there, especially when it's pretty obvious he's talking to himself, but that really only adds to the charm and underground feel this album has. The way Hendryx flips, chops, and loops certain samples is pretty fun to listen to. I'm a sucker for instrumental-only tracks when done right. The lovely Operation Kill Luke Scott was fire, and it's cool to see the blueprints for the stuff he does modernly. Devon also comes off as a pretty technical rapper, easily showcasing his lyrical abilities, wittiness, humor, and funny puns. That fucking Fat Joe at a track meet shit had me fucking dying. Even his delivery isn't as bad as something off of Joe's Chill World. Sure, he does sound like he's finding his way with each project he puts out, but the lighthearted feel of this album allows his awkwardness to not hinder its shine too much. I really love the tracks Light Bulbs, Amla Do, Operation Kill Luke, and Shet, as well as End to the Means. Personally, I'm feeling a light 7 out of 10 with this one. A bit awkward and very rough around the edges, shitty mixing, but the creativity and passion really makes this an enjoyable listen to. At number 2, we have Lisa. If Earwolf ever was a thing, Lisa would be it. I was completely taken back by this project going into it with no expectations and instead discovering a mind full of gold. Lisa, another one of Devon's lost albums, is a collab project between Devon Hendryx and Snow Sinatra, who would later go on to be known as jpegmafia. Spanning over 8 tracks and running over 30 minutes, Lisa feels like the embodiment of a Saturday. Just two friends having a good time, rapping their asses off over these dreamy, ethereal, early Odd Future type beats. Oh, y'all thought I was playing. So much of this tape screams early Odd Future, it's nuts. For fuck's sake, look at the names of the songs. Hot Pockets, The Suburbs, We Don't Love These Hoes. This is the most Odd Future shit ever. So much personality and good vibes at this joint, and the chemistry between Devon and Snow works so well. It's such a shame we don't hear more of Dat Piff's music. He's a really talented rapper. Even the 2 tracks he's composed himself, Hot Pocket and The Suburbs, were tough as hell. And as for the tracks that didn't sound too Odd Future-ish, like White Girls or even Up and Down, they were still cloudy, hard, and overall a great experience to listen to. When it comes to the underground sound of the early 2010s, artists like Lil B and A$AP Rocky really helped popularize the cloud rap genre, and so hearing Devon also being a product of that time was fascinating to listen to. But yeah, that's mainly about all I have to say about Lisa. There really isn't anything to critique about it other than its clearly low budget production and the amateurish skills of the 2 men. It's still solid though, feeling an easy 7.1 out of 10. It's a must listen to. Fucking Wendy's, Lunch Break, Up and Down, and We Don't Love These Hoes are my absolute favorites off this project. Banger. I said the latest burger in the world could be the meat. Alright, we all knew what number 1 was gonna be. Everyone put your hands together for 396, 639, 963, this underground masterpiece of I'm joking. Rightfully in first place is the Ghost Pop tape. Peak! I actually discovered this through y'all, the viewers who've been watching me for a while now. Don't get me wrong, I've known of Devon Hendryx, but it was this tape, like most of y'all, which really put me onto him. There isn't much I can say about Ghost Pop that hasn't been said already, but I'm gonna try. Kind of like 808s and Heartbreak, this tape sees Devon step back from rapping and instead lean heavily into melodies and songs. It's an accumulation of everything Devon has been doing up until that very point, wrapped in woeful harmony, lyrics of hopelessness, and mind-numbing audio clips to ease the pain around them. It's an endless, seeping dream like Heart Emoji, but creative and innovative like Rockwood. It harbors the raw emotion of Joe's Chill World, but harnesses and prioritizes beauty like Generation Y. There's this feeling of nostalgia, something like a distant memory or an uneasy feeling this album summons, second to only Dreamcast summer songs. Kind of a way of looking back into this distant and endless void. From the sound effects to the instrumentals and references to his older works, the Ghost Pop tape feels like a final goodbye to Devon Hendryx. A sad love letter to hopes and dreams that never seemed to go anywhere. A final glimpse at a life or a career that never took off in the way one had wished for. A voice wailing in pain, drowned on by the sounds and cries of life moving on, unnoticed and looked over forever. This is cinema. Y'all can fight over what y'all think the best track is. Real ones know it's Liara. But yeah, this shit depressing as fuck. If you know someone who wants to kill themselves, give them a hug, bake them cookies, suck their dick or some shit, I don't know. You know that friend who wants to be a rapper? Support them. Stream their music. Play it on the aux, I don't care how bad it is. Show them you're there for them. Cause this shit ain't easy, my boy. But yeah, feeling a 9 out of 10 for this one. Pretty amazing, straight banger, classic. Y'all get the gist. Oh fuck yeah, so that's the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Yeah, yeah, I already know I don't be on like that anymore. I don't know, man. You know that energy I had when I first started. I don't know, 2022 to 2023 was a different year. Especially I was starting off when I was new and I was at such a low point in my life and I was like, fuck, I gotta do something. You know, it's always been, I still is my dream to do YouTube and shit, but there's just so much going on. I have albums, you know, I'm making music, got my girlfriend, got so many projects, but fret not, for I love YouTube. I want this to make my career. Pretty Kitty's never gonna die. That shit's gonna live forever. All my beautiful kittens and subjects and shit. I gotta shut the fuck up. I'm fucking running out of phone storage and shit. But yeah, that's the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm not dead. I'm still here. Just mainly on my music channel, but regardless. Hope you guys enjoyed. Fuck. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, and if there's anything you didn't agree with or whatever, you already know how it goes. Just talk to me in the comments. Just reach out. But yeah, love y'all. Pretty Kitty out this bitch. Bye-bye. I'm finally free. I'm excited to follow my dreams. I decided to live it for me. Odyssey gave me proof to believe. I will show the whole world I'm supreme. Ultimate will admit that I'm striking a hole in one. No use for a gun, the holy sun.